Hi everybody from TechnoLost and welcome to the multimedia focus on the HTC One. Well, finally here we are with this dedicated focus on this great device. Let's start reminding you a few hardware specs. We have the front-facing camera, which is 2.1 megapixel. It's an ultra-wide angle 88 grades, so a very good front-facing camera, capable of recording 1080p videos and HDR picture. Well, on the back we have what HTC call ultra pixel camera, which is nothing but a 4 megapixel backside illuminated sensor, which is 1/3 1:3 sensor, which is quite big, and moreover it has a very good lens with an aperture size of f2.0, so very bright lens. Then we have this beautiful interface for what concerns this camera. So let's analyze the camera UI for this HTC One. We have of course both the picture taking and video shooting button all together, so we can select one of these two without having to switch anything. We have, as you can see, we don't have any switch for the front facing camera because HTC implemented this gesture to change from the, as you can see here, rear camera and the front facing camera. Okay, we have here the zoom bar, but we can even use just the pinch to zoom in order to zoom in or out. Then we have flash selector, we have Zoe selector. This is really interesting. Zoe is just a way of taking picture, which means that every time we take a picture, together with the picture we decide to take, the HTC One takes other 20 pictures altogether, creating even a small video. To be precise, we are, every time we take a picture, the HTC One recording 1 second before the time we took the picture and 2 seconds after the time we took the picture. So altogether we have a 3 seconds video. And it's a very good effect, because together with the video you have 20 more pictures, and you can even decide if the picture you took is not the way you wanted it to be. I mean, maybe there was someone moving or which is out of focus or that kind of stuff. You can select any other of the other 20 pictures that the HTC One took for you. So this is a really interesting functionality, even more interesting because while looking at the Zoe picture into your gallery, you will see some kind of Harry Potter effect. If some of you ever watched an Harry Potter video, and you can see into the video many times a picture, and you see the picture is moving. This is the same effect that you can find into the HTC One gallery, where you're browsing your picture and you see a Zoe picture, and the picture just animated itself for a few seconds and then stop again. This is a very nice feature that I will show you in a few seconds. Now let me show you just all the other settings. We have scene selector for picture, which means that we have normal, portrait, landscape, backlight, text on macro. We have night mode, HDR and sweep panorama. For what concerns video capturing, we have normal, slow motion video, fast HD 60 frames per second, this is 720p video of course, and we have full HD, so 1080p video HDR. Then we have the self timer, we have the crop, as we don't have any kind of ratio selector for taking picture, so you can decide whether to have 16:9 or 4:3, for instance. You can even have 1:1, which is really strange. Here we are. We can select video quality, so 1080p, 720p and MMS. Then we have the possibility to select whether to review duration, image adjustment between exposure, contrast, saturation and sharpness. We have of course ISO selection, white balance, continuous shooting. We can decide whether to limit the continuous shooting to 20 frames or even have or not the auto review. We have some other camera options like face detection, auto smile capture, or geotag photos. We have even the possibility to shut off the shutter sound, which is really nice. Touch to capture instead of pressing the button. And then we have read, auto upload if we want to automatically upload the picture taken on some of different cloud services. These are all the settings for what concern this HTC camera. So now let's see. I was forgetting it. We even have here this kind of Instagram-like filters. They are all real-time filters, of course, like this mosaic one I've just applied. And these are interesting. Okay, let's get to the gallery and let's see the picture taken. So let me show you a few things inside this gallery. Just let's see it in portrait. Well, we have here the selection between my photo, friends, and camera shot. Camera shot means that we have all the pictures and videos all together without any kind of grouping. Then we have the friends selection. Let's see, a picture taken by our friends on any kind of online services like Facebook and Flickr, for instance. And we have then my photos. My photos is interesting because we can have different kind of grouping between events, albums, on location. So this is the events view, which is very nice. The picture and videos are grouped together based on the date, but even on the position. So as you can see, just let me show you. Here we have two group, same day, different geographic location. This means that we have two different groups. So if we even have the album view, which means that we can create our own albums like I did for this test multimedia HTC One, of course. Then we have the location view, which is the usual location where you can see the place where you shot the pictures or videos, how many of them you shot or recorded in that place, and pressing a single place you can even see all the things, all the stuff, recording that position. So let's get back to the event. So let's select event. Here we have this very nice view with this movement effect like this, which is quite interesting. And we can see here the first interesting things, which is this kind of small video, created by the HTC One itself. This is live, editing of all the pictures and video you have on your event or album or whatever kind of view you're using. And this is really interesting because you get 30-second video like this, which edit all together picture taken into the same event or album. We can, for instance, decide whether to change theme. We have 4 different themes: Polaris, Avalon, Vega, and FL. And change the theme, of course, change both the background music and even the editing effect. Like this, we have everything in black and white. We can even decide where to shuffle the picture inside this created video, then to have a different order for the video editing. Of course, we can get the pose. And what is really interesting that we can save the result. We can select content, which means that we can decide what to put inside this live editing like this. So if I don't want to use every picture and video inside the event or the album or whatever, we can even decide what to put into and what to put out. And then we can, of course, share the result. And this is really interesting. Besides all the usual stuff for sharing like Facebook, Dropbox, Gmail, or other stuff, we have this HTC Share. This means that using HTC Share, the device will of course edit the video, create the final result, upload this video to the HTC Share cloud service, and then we will get back a web link. Of course, we can use this link to send an email to our friends or whomever we want to see the video. So we have 6 months. So for 6 months, this result will be loaded on the HTC Share cloud service, and we can just sharing the link, automatically let people see what we have created. So this is really interesting. So this is the HTC Share functionalities. As you can see, this picture is a little bit moving, this one too. These are all HTC or pictures taken using Zoe, although they are a little bit maybe too static. That's why you don't see too much the difference. This is what happens when you see a picture taken by Zoe. You first see the picture for a second and then the video starts. Then, as you can see, you can even start yourself the video again, or using the selector like this, you can choose another frame inside the 21 frames you get altogether. So the 20 frames taken by the HTC One and the one you took by yourself. So this is really useful if you have problem like out of focus subject or this kind of stuff. What is really more interesting is the edit functionalities of this HTC One, because we can recreate some of the effect that other device like Samsung Galaxy S4 has, but in post-production. This is the best things to me, because you don't have to remind yourself to use a certain scene mode in order to take or to have some kind of result. For instance, the famous drama shot that you get inside the Galaxy S4, where you have a fixed scene and a moving subject inside the scene, and you mix all together the frame that compose the movement of the subject inside the scene. Well, you have to remember to select the dedicated scene mode inside the Galaxy S4 before taking the picture. If you're just using Zoe, whenever you want, you can get back here to the effect, select transform, select retouch, here we go, and you have the sequence shot. The sequence shot is nothing but the drama features used by the Galaxy S4 to compose a single picture based on the frames of the movement of an object inside a fixed scene. Exactly the same effect. Of course, the same goes for what concerns object removing. The Galaxy S4 has a dedicated scene mode for removing unwanted object into the scene. Here, as for the Galaxy S4, you can do it. You can have the same result, but in post-production. And this is really interesting. You can always, you can even have always smile, which means that you can select a better face with a smile for a person you have inside the picture, skin smoothing, lightening, face contour, eye enhancer, red eye remover, eye brightener, and so on. So you have many effects. You even have frames, so you can add frames to your picture. You have some kind of effect. Most of them are the same that you will have inside the camera UI. Then you have transform, which means you can rotate, crop, flip, straighten your picture. So you have many editing inside this gallery. You even have, of course, editing for what concern video. Just let me show you. Here we go. As usual, we can, for instance, change the frame, take the picture of the frame that we want, or even edit the video, selecting change the size and selecting cutting the video before or after a certain point, and we can save the result in a copy, or we can overwrite the result directly. So this is the editing functionalities for concerned video. So let's see now what about the picture quality and video quality. So this is a picture taken with good light, as you can see. So quite good details, no problem at all. You know, this picture maybe was easy to take as the scene was well lit, so it was very difficult to, you know, have bad result. This is a macro mode, picture taken with no macro mode, so automatic mode, but in, you know, in the shadow. But as you can see, very good details indeed for this picture too. Of course, here we have 4 megapixel sensor, which means that in certain situation you may find the picture you know, with not so much details. Just let me give you some example. I have a MacBook Pro Retina, so my display is very high resolution, 2800 pixel more or less for 1600 pixels. So this means that when I see the HTC One picture on my MacBook Pro Retina display, the picture are already, you know, at a maximum zoom. I cannot zoom more. The same goes for the Nexus 10 I have, for instance. So if I see the HTC One picture on the Nexus 10, I have the same kind of effect. I cannot zoom more because they are already at the maximum zoom level. Nevertheless, for most of the times, I mean, viewing the pictures on your mobile phone or even on your TV, because you have full HD TV, you won't have any kind of problem. You may find some problem if you want to print the picture and just select a small scene, zoom in. This may be a problem because those kind of pictures don't have so many details, but nevertheless are very good picture for a 4 megapixel sensor. They are, you know, almost perfect for everyday usage. So this is another macro, very good picture here too. This is great. This is a night mode, picture taken without night mode. But as you can see, there's no reason to use night mode because the picture is already with a very good light. Other picture taken without night mode and with night mode. As you can see, the difference is negligible. So there's no big difference between night mode and normal mode. The same goes for all these other pictures, normal mode and night mode. No difference at all because you already capture so many light in night mode with this HTC One, which is incredible. Generally speaking, the HTC One is a very good camera for every light situation, low light, good light or night. So very good camera for what concerns light condition, and it's even extremely fast. So this is a picture taken against direct sunlight, although the day was really cloudy. But as you can see, this is the same picture taken with HDR mode, and as you can see, we have a huge difference in light, really huge difference. Moreover, there's not so much cost effect as we used to have on other device, but for very fast moving object like this car, of course. This is because, as I told you, the HTC One is extremely fast in taking picture, even for what concerns HDR. These are the videos. I will talk to you about the video later. This is another time the picture taken in normal direct sunlight and the same picture in HDR mode. Really a huge difference. Video. These are other pictures taken. Here we even have the panoramic picture. You can just take panoramic picture in landscape, but we have very good picture. No kind of problem for what concerns the merging algorithm. So it's great. We don't have, artifact, but of course this is a person walking, so it couldn't be other way. But other stuff, there's no problem. So very good, extremely good. The panoramic picture depends of course on how many frames you put into picture, maybe even very big, up to 9 megabytes. So they are very good picture indeed. But sometimes the HDR algorithm really, get a little bit crazy like this. It does happen in some other devices. The Galaxy S4 seems to have the same problem. In some situation, the HDR algorithm doesn't make a good job. This is strange, but it has happened. Nothing too dramatic anyway. Just let me show you. This is a picture taken in of a sunset. Moreover, this is even, as you can see, a Zoe picture, and this is the same picture taken with HDR. So here you can see starting the small defect on the sky. These are macro mode picture, very good, two great details. So for what concerns picture, let me tell you, this is a very good device. I would say great device in any kind of light condition. Extremely fast. In few situations, maybe 4 megapixel are a little bit, I would love to have maybe a little bit more. Even 5 would have been enough, but 4 in some situation, like using very high resolution display like MacBook Pro Retina, or even the iPad 3 or iPad 4 or Nexus 10, maybe few megapixel more would have been perfect. Anyway, very good camera for picture taking.